Hi friends, good day. Today I am starting the problems part of it. The trading and P&L account of TV and radio equipment company for the 6 months ended 31st March 2016 is presented to you in the following form. Purchases TV sets 1 lakh 14 lakh 7,000, radio set B 9 lakh 6,000, spare parts for servicing department C 6 lakh 44,000. That means TV sets are purchased for department A, radio sets are purchased for department B, spare parts for servicing purchased for department C. Salaries and wages he has not given department wise. That means the salaries and wages are related to all the three departments together. Rent 1 lakh 8,000, sundry expenses 1 lakh 10,000, profit 3 lakh 40,000. Sales TV sets A 15 lakhs, radio sets B 10 lakhs, receipts from servicing and repairs job C department 2 lakh 50,000. Then we are having the closing stock of department A, B and C has been given. It means we got purchases, department wise purchases we are having, sales department wise we are having, closing stock department wise we are having. Now salaries, rent, and we are having overall profit has been given. Overall profit has been given. This is overall profit of business. For how many months? 6 months. 6 months ended. It's not 12 months ended. It is 6 months ended. Overall profit has been given. Now, prepare departmental accounts for each of the three departments A, B and C mentioned above after taking into consideration the following information. Now, we need to have the information of how salaries and wages to be apportioned, how rent is to be apportioned, how sundry expenses is to be apportioned. Because we got purchases department wise, we got sales department wise, we got closing stock department wise. Only what is that we need to allocate? Salaries and wages, rent and sundry expenses department wise. Prepare departmental accounts for each of the three departments A, B and C mentioned above after taking into consideration the following information. TV sets and radio sets were sold at the showroom. TV sets and radio sets are sold at the showroom. Servicing and repairs are carried out at the workshop. Okay, TV sets and radio sets are sold at showroom. Now, if you look at the problem, TV sets and radio sets are sold. That means department A is about TV sets, department B is about radio set. These two things they are purchasing, they are selling at the showroom. At the showroom. That means showroom you are having two departments A and B. In showroom how many departments? You are having two departments. Servicing and repairs are carried at workshop. So workshop is department C. Okay, because you say spare parts for servicing, repair jobs sold, these things. Now salaries and wages comprises of showroom 3/4. Now showroom is consisting of department A and B. Workshop 1/4 is relating to department C. It was decided to allocate showroom salaries and wages in the ratio of 1:2 between department A and B. First, what is that you should do? Salaries and wages is to be apportioned 3/4 to showroom. The 3/4 showroom expenses is to be apportioned among department A and B in the ratio of 1:2. And then C, the entire, since workshop belongs to C, 1/4 of 4,80,000 will be apportioned to department C. The workshop rent is for 5,000 per month. Workshop rent is 5,000 per month. The rent of showroom is divided equally between department A and B. We got total rent, no? Total rent is how much? 1,08,000. 1,08,000, 5,000 per month means generally, if you don't read the first part of the statement, you may do it. Will be doing first 12 months. It is for how many months? We need to calculate 6 months. So the workshop rent is 5,000 per month. 5,000 to 12, it is coming to 60,000. That 60,000 rent if you deduct 1,08,000 minus 60,000, 60,000 department C, balance rent will be apportioned among department A and B equally. Sundry expenses are to be allocated on the basis of the turnover of each department. Turnover means here 15 is to, or 150 is to 100 is to 25. This is the ratio. 25 ones are 25 fours are 25. 6 is to 4 is to 1 is the turnover ratio. Clear to all of you? Turnover ratio. So sundry expense to be allocated on the basis of turnover of each department. So we start working out the problem now. Working notes. Allocation of salaries and wages. Total 4,80,000. $4,80,000. Now this 4,80,000, 2 by 3 showroom. 1 by 3, 1 by 4. By 3 or just a minute. 3 by 4. 3 by 4 and 1 by 4. 3 by 4 showroom, 1 by 4 workshop. This workshop is department C. Department C. That is 4,80,000 into 1 by 4. It is coming to rupees 1,20,000. Is department C. Clear to all of you? Now 3 by 4th showroom, that is 4,80,000 into 3 by 4. It is coming to 3,60,000. This 3,60,000, we have seen that in the problem 1:2 between A and B. To be apportioned 1:2. 1 by 2 of 3,60,000 is coming to, this is for department A, that is 1,20,000. And here B department 2 by 3 of 3,60,000, that is 2,40,000. Now we got department A 1,20,000, department B 2,40,000, department C 1,20,000. This is what the allocation of salaries and wages, like that we should understand and we have to work out. This is working notes number 1. Now let us see the working notes number 2. The workshop salaries and wages complete. The workshop rent is 5,000 per month. The rent of the showroom is divided equally between. Okay. So let us see total rent is how much? 1,08,000. So working notes number 2. Allocation of rent 1,08,000. Allocation of rent, what they are saying? Workshop. C. 5,000 per month into 6. 30,000. Now 1,08,000 minus 30,000. You are getting balance of 78,000. This 78,000 is to be allocated equally between A and B. 1/2 of 78,000. 39,000. 1/2 of 78,000. 39,000. This is allocation of rent. Clear to all of you? Next, third point. Sundry expenses to be allocated on the basis of turnover of each department. Sundry expenses 1,10,000 in the ratio of 6:4:1. Working notes number 3. Working notes number 3. Allocation of sundry expenses. On the basis of turnover. What is sundry expenses? 1,10,000. What is turnover? 15 lakhs is 10 lakhs is 2,50,000. That is 15 lakhs is to 10 lakhs is to 2,50,000. I told you 6:4:1. 6:4:10. Okay. So how to allocate this now? A, B, C. 1,10,000 into 6/11. 1,10,000 into 4/11. 1,10,000 into 1/11. You calculate, you're getting 60,000, 40,000, 10,000. This is how you should allocate. That's it. In this problem, I told you what is important point: allocation of expenses. Now we can write is asking us to prepare department accounts for each of the 3 departments A, B, C mentioned above after taking into consideration the following information. Okay, so we can start doing it. Trading, P&L account for 6 months ending 31st March 2016. So we can start with first purchases department wise. He has given already. Two purchases. ₹14,07,000, 9,06,000, 6,44,000. We also got the sales directly given. Sales, we can see here, sales and closing stock department wise he has given. Am I right? So I think these sales and closing stock we can show directly here. By sales, ₹15 lakhs, ₹10 lakhs, 2,50,000. Then by closing stock also has been given 6,01,000, 2,03,000, 1,08,000. Now come back to expenses. To salaries and wages, we went for working notes number 1. We have done already. Salaries and wages have been apportioned. How? 120, 240, 120. $120, $240, $120. To rent, we have done working notes number 2. $39,000, $30,000. $39,000, $39,000, $30,000. Then to sundry expenses, 60, 40, 10. $10,000. Now you can find out department wise profit or loss. Now let us see the credit side. I think credit side is showing more here. It is coming 21 lakhs 1,000, $21 lakhs 1,000 minus 14 lakhs 7,000 minus 1,20,000 minus 39,000 minus 60,000. You're getting 4,75,000. So profit carry down 4,75,000. Now look at the debit side here. Debit side is showing more. So obviously you should go for calculation of the total of the debit side. When debit side is showing more, you will be getting a gross loss, no? Simple. So let us go for total of debit side. 9,06,000 plus 2,40,000 plus 39,000 plus 40,000. It is coming to 12,25,000. Twelve lakh 25,000. 12,25,000 minus 12,03,000. You are getting a loss of 20. You are getting a loss. So by loss carry down. By loss carry down, you are getting 22,000. Okay, then we can go for the C department. C department, obviously debit side is showing more. 644 in this. If you look at the total, it is showing debit side is more. 6,44,000 plus 1,20,000 plus 30 plus 10, it is coming to 40,000. 8,04,000. $8,04,000. 8,04,000 minus 2,50,000 minus 1,08,000. Closing stock. Closing stock is 446. I mistakenly taken closing stock is 446. This is 446. Okay, sorry. See, 8,04,000 minus 2,50,000 minus 4,46,000. You'll be getting 1,08,000. $1,08,000 loss. See, two departments you are having loss. One department is having profit. But because of having huge profit when compared to B and C, you are getting a picture of, you can take the calculator, 4,75,000 minus 22,000 minus 1,08,000 is equal to 3,45,000 overall profit you are having. Is this clear? It means overall profit you are getting. It seems to be performance looks all right. But when you go for allocation, of expenses, columnar departmental trading, P&L account, if you prepare, you are getting a loss for department B and C, profit. That means with the profit of department A, you are able to cover the loss of B and C. The future, just to have a clarity, shall I go for, I'll tell you that the decision is because TV sets are being sold by A department, radio sets is because the problem creator, hats off to him, because radio set, maybe this is a very old problem. How many of you are buying the radio sets now? And TV sets also, I mean, we are having lot of models nowadays. Huh? Nobody is even looking at the TV now. Mobile phone is a TV, everything, computer, laptop, everything, no? So I think this has become outdated. So in future, I think, why should I waste my time by just having, why should I incur losses by department B? Spare parts and servicing, how many of are really coming if it has become outdated, old, and they are simply throwing, dispatching, and they're selling the scrap, and even just they're throwing away the piece, and they're going for the new thing. See, this is all your mean to have a proper analysis of how your business is doing. That is the reason why you go for department wise ascertainment of result, just to illustrate that. And the second point which you should understand is that we went for starting the problem writing department trading P&L account. Sir, if I write what happened, gross profit, you can write, there's nothing wrong in it. Sales, closing stock, purchase salaries, gross profit, then you can go for allocation, again going for P&L account. See, this is already total profit has been given, that is why we written trading and P&L account. You can do like this. If we are having detailed expenses, then we can split departmental gross profit. Sometimes GP ratio is required for apportionment of expenses or something, then we have to go for trading account separately, P&L account. Otherwise we can go for common heading, trading comma P&L account, without splitting for gross result, net result, directly went for net result. So I think this is the reason why we should work out the problem like this. Okay, so now let me take you to the second problem now. I'm giving some time for you to see the problem. Rate of gross profit is same in the case, prepare departmental trading account, that's it. I'm leaving 2 minutes time for you just to read whether you can work out this problem or not. I want you to cross check before me starting to explain the problem. This problem looks very simple, but at least and again it's a meaningful problem. See this. Okay, got the idea how to work out? It looks very small problem, no? You can expect these kind of problems as 8 marks. Department account, you sure of getting. Department account sure of getting one problem. 8 marks question, definitely department accounts. Now you can see they are asking you in the month of January 2016, the following purchases were made by business houses having 3 departments. Have you observed here? Units of A department has been given, B units, and we don't have department wise allocation of purchases. Okay, and total cost he has given. So to prepare gross profit, to find out that trading account, by ultimately result, the reason for you prepare trading account is to find out gross profit. I need to have the allocation of purchases among the 3 departments. So this is first, it's very clear to you. We need to go for allocation of, that is cost price of purchases. This is what I want, am I right? The purchase is to be allocated. Total 1 lakh, purchase is to be allocated. I think this is missing now. Stock 120 units, 80, 150. Value of stock, question mark. Sales, department A 1000 to 20 units at 20 rupees each, 1920 units at 22.5 each, 2496 units at 25 rupees each. So what is missing here? Total sales we are having. So we got, see the problem, just for discussion's sake, opening stock value missing. Opening stock value missing. Purchases department wise allocation missing. Right? Initial analysis. Sales we are having. Sales we are having. But what is missing? Opening stock plus purchase minus sales closing stock is missing. Value missing. You can find out number of units. 1000 units, 120 units plus 1000 units minus 1020 units. You will be getting closing stock in units. So now what is missing? Opening stock value is missing. Purchase department allocation is missing. Closing stock value is missing. And okay, how to find out, sir? How to do this? This is the biggest problem. Come on, think of it. Okay, now I'll just try to give a hint to you. I got selling price per unit, no? From this, if you take out profit per unit, then we can get cost price per unit, no? If you can able to understand, I think you can work out without me telling anything. Selling price per unit has been given. If I can find out profit per unit, we can find out cost price per unit. If I can get cost price per unit, 1000 into units into cost price per unit, 2000 units into cost price per unit, 2400 units into cost price per unit, I will be getting purchase of per unit. Stock 120 into cost price per unit, 80 into cost price per unit, 152 units into cost price per unit. If I can get that, opening stock units plus purchase units minus closing stock minus sales units is equal to closing stock units into cost price per unit, I can get. So which is important for entire problem? Cost price per unit ascertainment is important. Cost price per unit ascertainment is important. Now, sir, how to find out, sir? Simple. Let me explain a simple way. I got sales. Okay, sales minus purchases. If both are equal, this is 1020 units, 1920. If both are equal, I can find out profit. No, selling price of purchased units minus cost price of purchased units. I got cost price of purchased units 1 lakh. If I can get cost price of purchased units, that is 1000 units plus 2000 units plus 2400 units. Am I right? I got the purchase price of these units. If I can get sales value of 1000 units, sales value of 2000 units, sales value of 2400 units minus purchase price of 1000 units, purchase price of 2000 units, 2400 units, I can get gross profit. If I can get gross profit, then I can find out percentage of profit. I explain once again what I do now. I take 1000 units, 1000 units into 20 rupees. Then I'll be getting selling price of department A. Sales value of purchased units I'll be getting. 2000 units into 22.50. Sales value of purchased units I'll be getting. 2400 into 25. Sales value of purchased units. Sales value of purchased units minus cost price of purchased units, I'll be getting, difference is gross profit. That gross profit by sales into 100, if I can do, I'll be getting selling price, I'll be getting the percentage of profit per unit. I'll be getting percentage of profit per unit. Once again I tell you, percentage of profit margin on sales, if I get profit minus profit divided by sales value into 100, I'll be getting selling percentage of profit per unit. Profit by, gross profit by sales, my dear friends, into 100. Simple words, GP ratio. That is what we need to do. If I can get it, I think the problem is solved. So let me start explaining this. Problem number 2. Problem number 2. Working notes number 1. Profit margin I want. First, profit margin. Total sales minus total cost here. What I am doing? Sales value of purchased units minus sales value of purchased units. First let me find out, then we can go for sales value of purchased unit. Department A, department B, department C. I told you already, 1000 units into 20, 2000 units into 22.50, 2400 units into 25. Last one 20. Now you are getting 1000 into 20, 20,000 rupees. 2000 into 25, 22.5, 45,000. 2400 into 25, 2400 into 25, it is coming to 60,000. So you are having total sales value 1,25,000. Sales value of purchase 1,20,000. From this, I am deducting total cost of purchased units. This is given 1 lakh rupees. You can see 1 lakh given. That I am deducting. Then you are getting profit of how much? 25,000 rupees. Mentioned 25,000. This is profit. Clear to all of you? Now we can go for percentage of profit on sales, because better to have sales, because we are having selling. You can also find out percentage of profit on cost price. So 25,000 by 1 lakh, you can get percentage of profit on cost price. Again, that is to be converted into selling price. Why should I waste my time? So directly I am calculating percentage of profit on sales. Percentage of profit on sales now is equal to profit by 25,000 by 1,25,000 into 100, because this is sales value. No, you're calculating profit on sales value. 25,000 by 1,25,000 into 100, you're getting 20%. You also can try like this. I told you 25,000 by 1 lakh, you'll be getting 25%. Then 1 by 4th of CP is equal to 1 by 5th of SP. Same thing, that in that way also you can do. Or percentage of profit on cost also we can find out. If that is the case, 25,000 by 1 lakh into 100, you are getting 20%. This 20% percentage you should convert into, then this 1 by 25%. 25% will be getting. So now this is to be converted. 1 by 4th of CP is equal to, is it waste of time? No. So that is why better you go for this one. Easy. Okay, now the problem is simple. Once if you can get it, everything you can find out. Working notes number 2. Cost price of opening stock. Cost price of opening stock. Cost price of department A per unit I would find out. Why, sir? Opening stock you can see has been given in units. So I need to find out cost price per unit of department A. How to, sir? Selling price minus profit. I will be getting cost price per unit. Cost price of department A per unit. Cost price of department B per unit. Cost price of department C per unit. Now selling price SP minus profit. Now what is SP for department A? We already having selling price per unit, no? 20, 22.5, 25 rupees. 20, 22.5, and 25 minus profit. Profit has been just now we got 20%. Just this is for explanation I given. Don't consider, this is only for explanation. Ignore, I am taking this one. Percentage of profit on sale 20, that is 20% on SP, sales value. So selling price 20 into 20% is nothing but, my dear friends, shall I use 1 by 5? So 20 minus 4, it is coming to tell me 16 rupees per unit. Similarly 22.5 into 1 by 5, 22.5 to 1 by 5, you are getting 4.5. So 4.5 minus 22.5, you are getting 18 rupees is the cost price per unit. 25 minus 25 into 1 by 5, you are getting 20 rupees cost price per unit into units. Number of units, opening stock, you can see opening stock 120, 80, 152. 120, 80, 152. You multiply it. 16 into 120. 1920. 18 into 80. 1440. 20 into 152. 3040. So I got cost price of opening stock, no? Good. Now the thing is that I told you in the beginning, opening stock value missing, this has been, now I got it. Purchase department is allocation, I got units. If I multiply with what is that called as cost price per unit, I can get that information also. Department wise purchases, I can get it. Now working notes number 3. See, for understanding I am doing it in a simple different, detailed way. This can be improvised. Working notes can be customized according to your own way of understanding the things. Okay, so working notes number 3. Cost price of department wise purchases. Cost price of department wise purchases. Department A, already we got cost price per unit 16. We also got opening stock, the number of units purchased. Here same 1000, 2000, 2400, you can see 1000, 2000, 2400. Thousand into cost price per unit 16, 18, 20. Department B, Department C. Department B 2000 units. Department C now you can multiply 1000 into 16, 16,000, 36,000, 48,000. Now you'll be getting, you can cross check, 36, 52. Total you are getting 1 lakh. It is already been given a total cost. You can see what is total cost. 1 lakh has been apportioned. Am I right? Now I got opening stock units, purchase units minus sales units. I'll be getting closing stock per unit. Then I can get closing stock value. No, that is what I am going to do now. So let me go for now closing stock in units. Because I have given closing stock value. To find out closing stock value, I have to even find out closing stock units also. Here closing stock value is missing, and also closing stock in units also missing. Okay. Working notes number 4. I have to find out closing stock value now. To find out closing stock value, first I have to find out closing stock in units. So department A, B, C. Opening stock units. Opening stock units. We are having the information here. 120, 80, 150 to know. 120, 80, 152 plus purchases minus sales. Purchases units we got 1000 plus 2000, 2400. Sales 1020, 1920 and 2496. This is to be deducted. Sales find out the value units first. 120 plus 1000 minus 1020, 100 closing stock in units. You are getting. Similarly 80, 2080, 80 plus 2000, 2080 minus 1920, 160, 152 plus 2400 minus 2496, closing stock in units. Into cost price per unit. Closing stock units into cost price per unit. What is cost price? We already got it, no? Here we have done it. 16, 18 and 20. Sales minus profit is the cost price, no? 16, 18, 20. Multiply it. 1600, 160 into 18, 2880 and 56 into 20 is coming to 1120. Okay, now this will become closing stock value. Now you got opening stock, since he is asking us to prepare trading account, we are going for it. Otherwise you got gross profit also. GP ratio has been given, no? So sales into GP ratio, you'll be getting gross profit. But since he's asking you to prepare departmental trading account, we are going for it. I think departmental trading account is simple. Solution. Departmental trading account. Okay. So let me start with sales has been already given. We got the sales value, no? Now sales only, what is that you should do is that number of units into this is to be multiplied 1020 into 20. Here I am writing 1020 into 20. It is coming to 20,400. 1920 into, I think I know, I've told you already why we have multiplied with 1000, because to find out profit percentage. Now you have to multiply 1020 into 20 sales. 1920 into 22.50. You're getting 43,200. 2,496 into 25 rupees. You're getting 62,400. These values will be taken to where? Trading account credit side. Buy sales 20,400. 43,200. 62,400. Then you take opening stock. We already got the value in the problem itself. Sorry, we have a set in working notes number 2. 1920, 1440, 3040. 1440, 3040. Go for purchases. Purchase also we got it. We have just now, we working notes number 3. 16,000, 36,000, 48,000. 16,000, 36,000, 48,000. Okay. Now you can go for closing stock. Just now we have ascertained the closing stock value also. Working notes number 4. 1600, 2880, 1120. The gross profit is missing information, or you can just for cross check you can see 20,400 into 20%, no, 4,080. So what I am telling, without preparing department account we can find out, or 43,200 into department B 20%, 8640. 62,400 into 20%, 12,480. Since you have prepared trading account also, the missing information is gross profit. So 20,400 plus 1,600, 22,000. You can even cross check. 22,000 minus 1920 minus 16,000, 4,080. 43,200 plus 2,880 is coming to 46,080. 46,080 minus 1440 minus 36,000 minus 8640 That's it. You got 8640. Gross profit is correct. 62,400 plus 1120. 63,520. 63,520 minus 3,040 minus 48,000. You're getting 12,480. This is department wise gross profit. This is very simple problem, but you need a bit of thinking on this. So similar problem I want to give you. I think it's a 10th problem if I'm not wrong. Just a minute. Purchase amount, sales units, selling price, closing stock units. You're required to prepare department trading account, assuming the rate of profit on sales is uniform in each case. Same problem. Purchase units has been given. Purchase amount. This has given like a statement. There they have given like a vertical way. Sales units has been, selling price has been given, closing stock units per has been given. Okay. What is missing there? Previously opening stock units is missing. So opening stock units, how you can find out? Sales plus closing stock minus purchase is equal to opening stock. But the problem is same. Model is same. To find out the GP ratio, you have to go for sales minus sales value of purchase units minus this one. You'll be getting percentage of profit. Only thing is that in this problem, closing stock units has been given there. Opening stock units has been given. So closing stock units, you have to find out closing stock value. Now closing stock plus sales units minus opening purchase in units, you will be getting opening stock. Simple. 6,120 units plus 600 minus 6,000, you will be getting opening stock in units. I think you can do it, my dear friends. Am I right? Shall I give as a homework to you? So this you have to complete. This problem you have to complete. So opening stock units, I tell you once again, 6,000. For example, you take 6,120 plus 600 minus 6,000. You'll be getting 720 units opening stock. This is homework for you. Today, I'll be giving few problems, similar problems I want to give you as a homework for you to practice. Similarly, they say this particular problem today, what we have done is that opening stock units was given, which is missing. Closing stock units is missing. That is the difference. Entire concept here. Opening stock value is missing. Closing stock value missing. Closing stock value is missing. But here you should write opening stock value is missing. Opening stock units is missing for problem number 10. So problem number 10 is homework. I hope you all are following this departmental account so far. So we continue our discussion in the next class. Till then, goodbye. Thank you. God bless you all.